Alrighty, so squad coming off a 97-81 comeback win against Crookston, 90-86 in overtime the next night against Concordia St. Paul, and then a bit of a letdown on Sunday against Hillsdale, but we'll get to that. I want to start with the Crookston game. Career night for Brian. 30 points, 6 of 9 shooting from deep. Saw a lot of action as a freshman, intentionally or not sometimes, and we had very high hopes for Brian. You guys did. He really showed a lot of potential as a young prospect. What can you say about the way he's grown over the offseason and what he's shown you so far this season?
Yeah. I think really proud of him. He's made the jump. That freshman to sophomore year, I think, is the most important year in some ways. You know what college basketball looks like. You know what you need to get better at. And it's kind of on guys, especially at the Division II level where most of them go home for the summer. It's on them individually to go improve their games and come back as a different player. And I think Carson Smith did a great job of it the year before, and Brian did a great job of it this year where he came back and instantly we were like, okay, he can score now. He always could pass. He always was a leader. He always was a point guard, but he needed to add some scoring flares to set up all the other stuff he does. And, I thought, really in both games, I thought he was just unbelievable. I mean, he's taken so many strides. And the thing is, when he scores like that, then his passing opens up even more. And we didn't have a great shooting stretch, but he's throwing a lot of kicks that those shots will start going down. So I feel like when he's shooting and scoring, our team's really, really hard to guard.
Mm-hmm. And on the subject of shooting and scoring, few in all of college basketball at this level have been doing that in quite the same way Max Bjorklund has to start this season. 75 points over the 3 games, some big-time shots and free throws against Concordia St. Paul. Player of the Week honors. I mean, what can you say about the way that he's come out on a mission to start this season?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I almost I don't know what to say. It's just so good. For the shots he's shooting, to be shooting as high a percentages as he is, with every team tailoring their entire game plan to try to stop him, and the fact he's still able to score at the level he's scoring at, I've never seen anything like it. It's crazy. It's impressive. It's, he's really, the game is slowed down for him where every ball screen now, he can navigate it and score in a different way depending on what the defense is doing. And the shots he's making are hard shots. We got to do a better job of trying to get him some easy shots, so it's not the whole game making those hard shots. Let's save those for when we need them at the end. But at the same time, I mean, the reason we're 4-1 is the biggest reason is his scoring and the way he's scored down the stretch of games. In particular, when the stakes are the highest, he's scored his best. And really proud of him, and very fortunate to have him on our side.
So then, to finish off the weekend, Sunday against Hillsdale, just 20 points in the second half, 0 for 15 from 3. But you look at it on paper, I mean, 3 games in 4 days, long bus ride through some bad weather in between on the one day that there wasn't a game in that 4-day stretch. So it looked like, without being there myself, it looked like the guys just kind of ran out of gas in that second half. Would you say that's accurate?
Yeah, you hate using excuses, and we did not play very well against Crookston and Concordia. We could have played a lot better in those 2 games, and if we played a lot better in those 2 games, we might have been able to rest our guys more, and we might have been able to get more guys going and not have to rely so much on Max and Brian's individual brilliance. But once we did that for those 2 games, we probably weren't going to win that game. It just wasn't. It was really, really, really difficult. They're 16th in the country. They had 4 days to prep. We're at their place, which is a tough place to play at. We got done with the overtime game, and immediately we're on a bus at 8 a.m. With the weather, we were on it for 11 hours. I think if you look at the challenges of winning, especially here where there hasn't been a ton of winning, I think one of the things that no one factors in is the travel and how difficult it is to schedule. And I put our players in a terrible, terrible position on Saturday or Sunday by scheduling that game and I feel really bad about it. The flip side is we got to play better, and we got to play better the whole week. Like those two teams, I think, are improved, but those two teams haven't had a lot of success. And when you get those teams at home and they're making a long trip up by us, you got to handle them better than we handled them. And if we did that, we would have set ourselves up better for Sunday. But yeah, it's hard, and we'll get better. I think we're very fortunate to be 4-1. We're fortunate we got those 2 wins at home. I love where we're at record-wise, but I really think that we need to take major steps forward if we're going to accomplish the goals we have for the season. And the first weekend, awesome. This weekend, not as awesome. Luckily, 4-1's 4-1.
So then that all gets started coming up this weekend, back on the road, but with some more time in between games this time. At St. Cloud on Saturday, and then at Minnesota Duluth coming back on Sunday. A pair of tough games for the Cats at home last season. Your thoughts on those matchups?
Yeah, I think that was kind of the downward cycle of our season last year started on this weekend a year ago, and so I think we have a healthy respect for how difficult this is going to be. St. Cloud as a new coach, I think he's doing a great job. And then Duluth's one of the best teams in the country. I mean, it's that simple. So great challenge ahead for us. I'm really excited to get in the gym and practice. We haven't practiced really from the first game until now. It's been one day here, one day there, just trying to get ready. We haven't really had a chance to practice and get better. So we got to take what we learned in those first 5 games, and now we have 3-4 days to translate that into how do we get better. And one thing our team last year did a pretty good job of is we just kept getting better, and this group now needs to take a jump. I don't know how much better we got from game 1 to game 5. Maybe some small improvements, but not enough. So now we have practice, and we need to take the time to improve if we want to keep having the success we've had in the early part of this season and the late part of last season. It's time to take a jump.
And what facet of the game would you say is the most important for the Cats to make that jump? Where do you most want to see this team improve going into this weekend's games?
I think offensively, having an understanding of how hard it is and how much we have to keep working to create great shots. We can take below average shots and still be a good, borderline great offense, taking bad shots. We have the luxury of that, but you can't fall into that trap. And so we have to be stubborn and keep fighting offensively to get the best shots so that we can be a great offense, not just a good offense. And then defensively, we got to get better at almost everything. I've always been a defensive first coach, and for whatever reason this year I'm doing a terrible job with our team getting them to play better defense. I think having 4 freshmen in the mix is a big cause of that. But we're 5 games in, they got to start not being freshmen. And it really comes down to, it's as simple as we're an extremely young team, mostly freshmen and sophomores with Max. And we can sit around and say we're young and this isn't our year because we're young. And that would be okay in some cases. But we have right now the best player in the conference. And it's time for those young guys to make sure they're all stepping up, not just one here and there, to give Max an opportunity to try to compete to win the league and win a player of the year and all that kind of stuff. And those changes need to start now. And we're not going to sit and wait around for our young guys to get older. We're going to get them better now. And they want to get better now. And they're super talented. And so if I can do a better job of getting through to them how to guard, I think our team has a chance to be special now. And I don't like waiting around for things. So we got to try to get it done this week.
Well, Coach, that's what I had. Thank you so much.